¿Qué lo que mi gente? Yo soy Ricky de Bilingue Blogs. Thanks for tuning in today. If you are a subscriber, I appreciate you so much for subscribing. We're almost at 7,000. You guys are doing great. And also, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. We're always dealing with Spanish here. You want to learn, I can help you all. I got a lot of tips. Got some series. Is it series or series? I got some series coming out for you guys soon. So you're gonna not want to miss that. So just go ahead and subscribe, please. Also, don't forget to like, leave comments about anything that you're thinking about while watching the video. And also share the video. It's very important that you share so that other people can get help just like you're getting help. So yes, okay. Today we're going to be talking about the Cuban accent. This video, I have put it off for a very long time. I haven't even put it off, I've been working on it, but things have not turned out how I wanted them to. I haven't been able to link up with people that I really wanted to link up with for this video, and I said, you know what, just forget it. We're gonna do this the old school way like I did in my other video with the Dominican accent. We're gonna do it just like that. And then I'm going to use those people that I wanted to use. I'm going to have them in my Cuban slang video so they can teach us Cuban slang, because I'll be honest, I'm not even that great with Cuban slang. Out of all the Spanishes that I've worked with in the Caribbean, Cuban Spanish is the least studied one. But I have had a lot of first-hand experience because I work with them all the time on my flights. I go to Havana, Cuba all the time. I go to Santa Clara. I've been to Holguín. I've been to Camagüey. So I'm always working with Cubans, and I've been able to analyze how they speak as well. I mean, I knew it already, but I've been able to pick up more things as I've worked with them. So this video should be pretty good. Now, on my video about the Puerto Rican accent, which you can find up here, I've received a lot of comments from angry Puerto Ricans saying, we do not talk like this. When I clearly in the video, like, let me take my glasses off. I clearly in the video said, all Puerto Ricans do not talk like this. I am only going off of what I have experienced firsthand. I know that everyone doesn't talk the same. People still are coming at me crazy like, oh my gosh, we don't talk like that. You are so disrespectful. You should stick to what you know. Like, I just said, everyone doesn't talk like this. I know this. This is what I've experienced. So there may be a part 2 for that video, but I'm only saying this to give the same disclaimer here. I know that all Cubans don't talk like what you're about to see, okay? I'm going firsthand off of what I've experienced and people that I've talked to or things that I've heard on shows, okay? So you can get angry all you want, but I gave my disclaimer. We know the basic rules of how the S's work in the Caribbean. You've seen it in the Dominican video, you've seen it in the Puerto Rican video, but in case you haven't, let's just go over it again. The S's, if they start a word, then they're going to be said just like an S. Well, I'm sorry, the S sound, because it can be an S or a Z or a C. If it starts a word, it's going to be pronounced, okay? If it's at the end of a word, then you can cut it off, or you can kind of breathe it out like an H. And same thing for if it's in the middle of a word. It depends on the word, but most times it can be, you know, eliminated if it's around consonants and things of that sort. But if it's around vowels, then you want to keep it there. So for example, if I want to say, these are good shoes, estos zapatos son buenos. In Cuba, it might sound like, estos zapatos son buenos. So the S's kind of go away besides the zapato sound. Zapato and son, because why? Because the S starts the word, so it cannot be eliminated, okay? Now, let's take a look at the L's and R's. Now, this is broken up on region and kind of a class thing. So the people of a higher pay grade, you know, a higher social class, they will try to pronounce the R's like the neutral R in Spanish. They will do their best to do this all the time. If you listen to a speech of Fidel Castro hablando, if he's talking, he's going to pronounce his R's like he's going to roll them, and he rolls them hard. That's just how he talks. That's how a lot of people with money will talk. Now, if you're on the eastern side of Cuba, because it's close to the Dominican Republic, they talk pretty much just like the Dominicans. I'm not going to say 100% like them, but I've mistaken a few Cubans for Dominicans if they're from the east side of Cuba, because they sound pretty much just like them with the L's and R's. So what I mean is the R's will turn to L's, and well, the L's are still L's there. So but what I have found is that if the L is next to a G, like for example, algo, then the L may disappear. And that's a Cuban characteristic. It may disappear. So instead of saying alguno, you may say alguno. Or if you say algo, hago, dame algo comer. Right? Back to the R's. The R's will turn to L's on the east side. Other than that, they disappear. Just like we had in the east side of the Dominican Republic, where the R can disappear. Same thing will happen here in Cuban Spanish. So for example, one of the famous phrases that I get every time on the plane is, are we leaving through this door, right? Or leaving through that door. Vamos a salir por esa puerta. That's a neutral way. They'll say, vamos a salir esa puerta. You hear how I don't say puerta, but I say puerta. I don't say salir or salir, I say salir. Vamos a salir esa puerta. Sometimes the I's can have a certain twang to them, making them sound like the Spanish eh. So for example, lo mío may become lo mío. Or tecnología may become tecnología. La tecnología. You see how it goes from the E sound to more of an A sound? That's just how some Cubans talk. So the I transforms to the slight E sound. Mío. Mío. Tecnología. You see that? Now, with the B's and the V's in Cuban Spanish, if it's between vowels, it's like a W. You'll never meet a Cuban from Cuba. You will never meet somebody from La Habana from La Habana. Okay? It's either gonna be Cuba or La Habana. Cuba, La Habana. So you see, I don't pronounce the V or B sound at all when it's in between those vowels. However, when you do have them, when you do need to pronounce those two letters, then it will be strong. For example, the word servicio in Cuban Spanish will become the word servicio. Pero el servicio de este avión es horrible. Oye, a mí no me gusta el servicio de este avión. Did you hear all those characteristics? Se, be, sio. So you take the R away, it becomes se. The BCO becomes be, becio, 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 instead of BCO, becio. No me gusta ese becio. That's the generic Cuban accent, okay? The D's, we also know this from the other islands in the Caribbean. The D's can disappear. So for example, yo soy de Habana, Cuba. Yo soy de Habana, Cuba. The word divertido can become divertido, right? It's another characteristic. Or complicado will become complicado, right? Now, let's talk more about the G's. As I said before, well, I didn't say before, but the G's themselves, well, first of all, your C's can sometimes, like your harsh C's that sound like a K, they can sound like a G. And then if you have a G, then it kind of takes on the next sound of whatever letters after it. Not all the time, but you know, if it's a consonant, then sometimes. So for example, the word magnífico will become magnífico. Pero yo me hago esta comida magnífica, este bizcocho magnífico. So you see, it becomes mani instead of magnífico. Magnífico, magnífico. It's more of a G as opposed to a C. And the ico. The last letter that I want to talk about will be the T's. And this is because it's different from the other Caribbean islands. So the T's here in Cuban Spanish, they are actually kind of harsh sometimes. So typically we will say, like, make it kind of like a TH sound. Yo te quiero. Igualmente, right? Igualmente, yo te quiero. But in Cuba, it's more harsh. It's actually like an American T. So for example, as opposed to saying este niño, like, I don't know, este niño siempre está llorando, right? That's my Dominican accent. They may say, este niño siempre está llorando. Este niño siempre está llorando, right? Or when I tell people on the plane, gracias por volar con nosotros, que tengan un buen día, they reply to me, igualmente. Actually, they don't even say igualmente, they just say igualmente. Momense. Momense. Like that. So, you hear the T is a little more harsh. So the basic rule that I have for that is if it comes after an S, then it's going to be that more harsh sound. I'm guessing after an N too, because I see it with igualmente all the time. Igualmente. La gente. Now it doesn't have to be like that. This is from a few that I've encountered, but I've also encountered some that will say it soft. Igualmente, gente, mente, tú sabes. So it can go either or, but I'm just letting you know because that's what I've heard. Some people compare the Cuban accent to, like, I don't know, someone talking Spanish with their jaw broken, or like Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to talk Spanish. I like to think of it as Elvis talking to Spanish, like, her burger so lonely, babe, right? Servicio. Well, yo quiero servicio. Like, but it's sometimes I'll be honest, sometimes it is hard to understand. Like when they talk fast and it's like all mumbled together, sometimes it's hard for me to even understand. Even other Cubans have said it, like they know that they're hard to understand when they talk amongst each other, and they try to, you know, they try to talk better when they're talking to non-Cubans, because it is kind of very slurred together dialect sometimes. So, I mean, as far as a tone, I don't really have a tone besides, you know, telling you guys how I think it sounds, which I said, I think it sounds like Elvis trying to talk Spanish, or, I mean, I guess you can say it kind of sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to talk Spanish. No, not Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, that wouldn't work. In my mind, that doesn't work. But yeah, I don't know. Let's try some phrases. Hacer que volá, tú sabes todo lo que está pasando. Ahora mismo estamos hablando cubano, el acento cubano. Mi amigo me está diciendo que quería hablar con usted, así que ahora mismo estamos aquí hablando contigo. Hacer que volá, tú sabes que ahora mismo estamos hablando con el acento cubano, tú sabes. Esto es algo que me gusta hacer porque tú sabes, siempre estamos aquí enseñando cómo hablar, como el otro. Y ahora it's not 100% spot on, but it's what I hear, and I'm trying to match it to the best of my ability. But I want you guys to hear authentic Cuban accent, and that's where at this part I was gonna have you know, two people come on. One person is somebody that I work with who has a really strong Cuban accent. Another one, she's a dancer on I don't know if it's Univision or Telemundo. I don't know. I met her on the plane. I didn't know who she was. I'm just like, she's younger. And when I was on Calle Ocho, I interviewed all older gentlemen. So I'm like, I need a young girl, I need a young guy, and these two were gonna be my young girl, young guy, to give us the whole perspective of how Cubans talk, right? But she's busy, cause, like, you know, she has a professional life as a dancer on TV. And then my coworker and I might be able to get him for my sling video. So I'm gonna try to get the girl for my sling video too. Maybe I can get both of them at the same time, who knows? Because he said that he knows her. He actually used to work at Telemundo, my coworker, so he, I know he knows her. I don't know if he knows her personally, but I know he knows her, so we'll try to get those two. But anywho, that's beside the point. Now I want to show you guys some Cubans talking, so we're gonna analyze this really quick.
Bueno, algunos somos divertidos, la mayoría siempre estamos educados por nuestras madres. Algunos son intrometidos, pero somos muy divertidos, eso es todo.
Nos gusta salir, nos gusta vacilar.
No sé si estoy muy bien. Algunos buenos, otros malos, algunos tienen buenos juicios, otros malos juicios.
Hay algunos buenos que siempre buscan sus problemas y todo eso, y se buscan problemas con la justicia, y otros no, otros están para sus estudios.
That's it for today for the Cuban accent video, guys. I hope you liked it. I really would have wished to have the other two people on here, but I couldn't. So finally, it's up. Please share, comment, like, subscribe. If you're Cuban, let me know what characteristics did I miss. I'm always you know, open to hearing suggestions or hearing things that I missed, because I'm not Cuban at the end of the day. I'm not even Latino at the end of the day. I just like to analyze this stuff. God bless. Have a good day.